This is the superhero peptide for the mitochondria. Not only do you get an energy boost when your mitochondria aren't working right, it can cause all sorts of problems like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. If we can get enough stem cells in that area, usually we'd want to, do some injections there. It's attracting your body's own stem cells. One of the things, CJC is a supercharger for muscle building and accelerates recovery by inducing delta sleep waves and resetting your circadian rhythms. And so it's really nice. CJC can help you sleep better. All right, good afternoon and welcome back, everybody, to the Unreasonable Health. I guess this is the Health Accelerator Challenges. We took a short break for the July festivities, the 4th of July, and some time leading up to that. And so glad everyone's back. We're excited to have you on here. We had a few technical difficulties here. So Reagan was on here. His screen just kept freezing up. So I'm going to take it from here. Hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. Hopefully you're not jumping off. But I'm Cade Archibald. I'm the host of the Health Accelerator Challenges, and I wanted to go through some of my favorite peptides, and we've got a some new pages and content from our peptide handbook that hopefully most of you have. If you don't have access to the peptide handbook, you can shoot us an email, info@acueastwest.com, and we can hook you up with that. But this is a really cool new document that I'm going to be jumping into, and then we'll have a fun challenge to present today. And so thanks for bearing with us. We're getting started a little bit late. And so I'm going to share my screen here. If you're just listening to the audio on this from for the podcast, I'll try to be as detailed as possible. But we got some really cool stuff. I wanted to just use some of this to go through some of Reagan and I's favorite peptide stacks. I'll share even what the current stack that I've been trying out and just loving it. So this is something we're just getting through all of the kind of fine line details here, but we have identified kind of our 30, there's about 33 different peptides and different combos that we've come up with, or 32 to be exact, that are kind of our highlighted peptides. And so this is going to be something that you'll get one of these cards with your peptides is the goal. So every time you get a shipment or a package of peptides, you have a card in here that actually tells you what it does, how it can impact you. And so one of the first ones, and there's some that are related to, there's peptides as well as some nootropics. And so just getting it kicked off here, I wanted to find one of the newest ones that I've been using. So where is SS31? I got to find it. But SS31, this is one that we just added onto the shelf. It's very similar to MOTS-C, and it may not have made, since it's so new, we got to, here it is. All right. It was just towards the bottom. All right. So SS31, this is the superhero peptide for the mitochondria. Not only do you get an energy boost when your mitochondria aren't working right, it can cause all sorts of problems like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. It's like a protective shield for your mitochondria, keeping them safe from damage caused by biotoxins. Some of the clinical trials in a variety of patient populations include those with heart failure, acute kidney injury, and neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Another notable thing on the clinical trials for the SS31 peptide is with patients with acute myocardial infarctions or heart attacks in this trial who received SS31 in addition to standard therapy had significantly lower incidence of major adverse cardiovascular events such as death, heart failure, recurrent MI, compared to those who received standard therapy alone. Also, studies show can lower hypertension. So this is a really cool one. I've been working on repairing my mitochondria over the last 30 days, and SS31's been a really, really cool one. My very favorite peptide would be Tesamorelin, and it's Tesamorelin with Ipamorelin. That would be the combo, but Tesamorelin's just an awesome one. I use it more from a building lean muscle standpoint. And so that's my main kind of focus with this. It's a growth hormone secretagogue. So you're opening up some of the growth hormone pathways. But some of the things that Tesamorelin does, it's just amazing. Liver health. So proteins are well established as building blocks for muscles and your liver, responsible for converting the proteins you eat into slabs of muscle. Tesamorelin has been shown to repair even the most damaged liver, so you can rebuild the frame that you want in a shorter amount of time. So it's really great for your liver, and it's what Tesamorelin's doing is it's helping improve that and rebuilding muscle. Belly fat converter. Tesamorelin, Ipamorelin effectively turns your accumulation of midsection overage, so that spare tire, into a defined masterpiece by working on your natural youthful growth hormone pathways. That's exciting. The cardio brain reset. It's a great way to lower non-optimal ranges for cholesterol. Clean out your pipes with its inflammatory lowering and regenerative properties. Also improves cognitive decline while you're putting on muscle. Enjoying your favorite Fitness 50 at age 100 challenges or Fitness 25 at age 50. Typically with Tesamorelin, you would do like 5 days on, 2 days off. So 5 out of 7 days, you're doing some sub-Q injections. We'd typically do this for about a 30-day cycle. And then if someone wanted to restart that after a 30-day break, you could, or usually it's about 30 to 60 days in between those cycles. But that is my probably number one favorite. And you guys here joining me live, if you have any favorites, type them into the chat box for me. I'm curious to hear if you've had any of your favorites. I feel like Tesamorelin gave me huge gains in the gym. It helped me cut some belly fat significantly, and just feel like I got a way, way better body composition. So love that one. All right. Our next one that we're going to talk about, thymosin beta 4. This is another really, really good one. If you're trying to, if you're just starting to move more, work out, if you have damaged tissue, if you're working on just healing up your body from old injuries, those things. So pain wise and regeneration is what thymosin beta 4 is doing. It helps with DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So if you're just starting to work out, maybe you're working with Tristan, our fitness advisor, and he's beating you up pretty good. Make sure you got some thymosin beta-4. You can get these in capsules. We use the thymus TB4 Frag. You can get the Frag Max. These are awesome. And so helps with muscle soreness, alleviates delayed onset and post-workout muscle soreness through the VEGF pathway. There's stem cell recruitment with this. So the thymosin beta-4 gene activates stem cells when tissues are damaged, which improves cell migration, inflammation, and degeneration. So really cool. If you have some damage in your, say you have a knee problem, you got either you had an injury or maybe you just have long-term arthritis in your knee from accumulation of trauma and problems there, then TB4, what it can help do is it's going to go into that area and help drive more stem cells into that joint. And so it's a great signaling factor for stem cells because stem cells, those are like your building blocks cells that can help with that degenerative problems. And so if we can get enough stem cells in that area, usually we'd want to do some injections there. But this is a great adjunct to stem cell treatments or just some regenerative properties in and of itself because it's attracting your body's own stem cells. So really cool there. Brain health has neuroprotective properties. Its immune properties decrease beta amyloid plaques, which that's found in Alzheimer's disease, and increases your neural autophagy. So getting cell clean, just cleaner cells. So really, really cool one. Another peptide would be Selenk. So this one, I'm actually taking Selenk. I kind of don't tell anyone, but my wife has the nasal spray Selenk, and I steal it from her every once in a while because it just helps calm the nerves really well, especially if I got stressful project or not necessarily stressful, but an intense project or something intense I'm working on. Helps just dial down the nervousness, the stress, some of those stress feelings or feelings of anxiety. So Selenk calms your amygdala freakout zone by breaking down the enkephalins that express fear, anxiety, and aggressiveness. As a bonus, it gently binds on opiate receptors to blunt pain. So it can actually be a good pain reliever. That's actually something new. I did not know about that. That's awesome. Gabatize, Selenk's shortcut to culture anxiety, occurs by activating 52 of the 84 genes that are responsible for GABA, making it a natural chill you out benzo. Without the benzo, benzo is not included. The youthful spark, imagine having your brain's youthful spark restored. Selenk might be the fastest way to get there with a 30% increase in BDNF. That's your brain-derived nootropic factor, which improves both short and long-term memory. Brain on fire, fire to brain. So this is a really important one. And I think what we see with Selenk is reducing that brain inflammation, which is huge. So Selenk has been shown to lower TNF-alpha, IL-6, and other pro-inflammatory cytokines. What it does, it shifts T cells from Th1, Th17 to the Treg, which are also fancy molecules that prevent infection. So also great, especially in the brain because it is a nasal spray, great for kind of fighting off infections. So Selenk, really, really cool one. Esther, you love Selenk. Thanks for sharing. No pet. So this is I my first experience. So I'm going to share my kind of initial story with nootropics. It was probably over 10 years ago. It's about 12 years ago now. Reagan came down to St. George and we were working on a project together, and I hadn't eaten a lot of food or anything. Actually, I hadn't eaten anything that day other than I think I had a cup of coffee. So I was not, was doing a little bit of a maybe bulletproof intermittent fasting there. And so Reagan he's like, oh, here, try out some nootropics. So he had me test out, and this is actually, I was doing, let's see, it was aniracetam I did that with. But anyways, no peptide. But my first experience with nootropics was that instance. And I've always been a little bit hesitant since then, because what happened is, he gives me these pills, and I'm thinking, okay, like they're going to help with memory, focus, just feel really good. And I think a combination of just a completely empty stomach, no food in my body, and a little bit too much caffeine, probably from the coffee, my brain just felt like it was like on a whole nother level. It was really cool, but towards the end, it was like exhausting. My brain was just like almost working too hard and too fast. And so no pept. So that was with aniracetam, and that was my very first experience with it. Since then, I also think I probably overdosed myself a little bit, took a little bit too much. One of my problems, and Reagan will attest to this, is I always think more is better. It's not necessarily the case. He tells me, hey, this thing's really cool, this is what it does, I'm like, oh, I'll take 50. When you're only supposed to take 5, so or 1. So that's one of my challenges. I got to slow the roll sometimes on this stuff. But no pept specifically. So this is another nootropic similar to aniracetam, but it's got a little bit different quality. This one, supercharged brain. Studies support no-pep's ability to enhance memory, learning, thinking ability by increasing alpha and beta rhythms. Electric brain, no-pep amplifies neurotransmission, signaling between the brain cells for creativity, faster learning, and increased retention. Reduce fatigue, anxiety, increase exploratory patterns in the brain. So really good for creativity. Reduces stress, prevents cognitive decline, lowers inflammation, protects against plaque buildup in the brain. And so really, really cool thing there. No pet. MOTS-C. Talked about SS31. I haven't done, it's been a minute since I've done a MOTS-C round, but I like the energy boost I get from MOTS-C. I can definitely feel it. So this supports energy and mitochondrial recharge. And what it's doing, and so we call it, somewhat of a exercise mimetic. And so your MOTS-C peptide triggers longevity, metabolism, insulin sensitivity while increasing brown fat activation. MOTS-C activates heat shock proteins for muscle recovery through the AMPK energy building pathway. It works through the mTOR pathway as well. Great for age reversal, expressed in MOTS-C is more expressed in Japanese populations that live longer. It's been shown that patients with heart disease have lower levels of MOTS-C and higher levels of MOTS-C and more endothelial cell damage. So patients with heart disease have lower levels of MOTS-C and more endothelial cell damage. Lowers cardiac inflammation, improves epicardial vessel function. So just so many really cool peptides here. And so we're going to do a couple more. All right, so epitalin. So probably every one of you has taken, if you're in one of our programs, if you've worked with the Accelerate Wellness programs, you've taken out epitalin. If you haven't, you got to reach out to us. If you're not in one of our programs, also reach out to us. But we have epitalin is awesome. It supports the HPA stress reset. This is one of our foundational peptides in the reset phase. And what it does, so one of the things that's really fascinating, it's a telomerase. So this helps tighten up your telomeres. And it's actually long-term studies on epitalin shows increase in longevity of, like, I think after 2 cycles of using epitalin, it was shown to increase lifespan by 7 years. So that's really fascinating. It was very long-term, like a 30-year study they did. It's also HPA axis reset, activates telomerase for longevity. It's interesting thing here. Fruit flies in rats given epitalin had a 52% decrease in mortality. That's awesome. And sleep, lipids, cholesterol, epitalin balances circadian rhythms, blood lipids by activating the PCREB and this word's a tough one. Alkaline acetyltransferase pathways responsible for melatonin production. So really, really cool peptide, epitalin. CJC 1295, this one is awesome. I'm currently kind of going between Tesamorelin and CJC 1295. Those are probably my 2 kind of most favorites. Tesamorelin's number 1, CJC number 2, and then probably like MOTC and SS31. I don't know, they're all really cool and really fun. Every time I get my box of peptides, it's just like Christmas. So one of the things, CJC is a supercharger for muscle building and accelerates recovery by inducing delta sleep waves and resetting your circadian rhythms. And so it's really nice. CJC can help you sleep better. CJC with ipamorelin is typically how we put it together. CJC is not uncommon to feel a surge of energy right after injecting it. You'll get like a flush feeling. That's like feels like you're ready to go. I love that feeling. Some people do not, so don't take my word for it. Take your own. Declining growth hormone levels to involted thymus glands and immunity decline. CJC recharges your immune cells intelligence by providing an increase in natural growth hormone along with ipamorelin. It becomes a supercharger that yields 7 times greater growth hormone rates. So very, very cool one. ARA290. So let's talk about this one. So ARA supports pain and regeneration, and so it's great analgesic. Decreases inflammation by turning off cytokines IL-6, IL-12, and TNF-alpha, which improves wound healing and tissue repair, reduces your blood pressure, blood glucose, and autoimmunity. It also repairs, so it can stimulate blood vessel growth, stabilizes blood pressure, calms nerves, and reduces pain. And one place in particular, it's really helpful with neuropathic pain. So neuropathic pain thresholds are improved with ARA290's impact on the small nerve fibers. So, if you have neuropathy or neuropathic pain, some of the red light therapies, increasing the vascularity to those nerves, as well as ARA290, game changer. Another really cool peptide is BPC-157. It's your body protective complex is what BPC stands for. It's first isolated from human gastric juices and has been shown to be protective of gut barriers, combats inflammation, resolves IBS. So it helps, helps heal up the intestinal wall and the intestinal lining, especially in cases of NSAID use. When there's a lot of NSAIDs that may have caused gastric bleeding, anything like that can be really helpful. It also regulates the gut-brain axis through the vagus nerve, stimulates hormone production in the gut, helps reset circadian cycles. So really good overall healing peptide. I like to refer to it as the Wolverine peptide. You know, when Wolverine like takes on all these bullets and everything, like his body just starts healing right on the spot. It's really cool, and I've been taking quite a bit of BPC. Had a question come in. Synergy between, I think this is SS31 and AR8 is what I'm assuming that means, Anthony, but really good synergy. So SS31 is really going to be focused more on your overall kind of energy sources, energy factors. Oh, AI car. So I probably wouldn't want to, I don't know enough about AI car to really say much other than just looking at it. Could be helpful. All right. So thanks for your question. Let's see. So lastly, I'm going to finish with 5-amino-1-MQ. This is the first one on our document, but I just like to kind of skipping around and seeing all the, it's fun to look at all these different peptides that can be just amazing for what we're doing. And so I have here 5-amino-1-MQ. This is an energy and mitochondrial support peptide. It is awesome. One of the main things that it's been used for is weight loss, turns off your NMT pathway, fat storing pathway, and helps shrink fat cells and deposits, reduce risks of diabetes, atherosclerosis, kidney, liver, cardiovascular disease, by lowering cholesterol by 30% after 16 weeks. That was the studies shown. Insulin sensitivity. It works on the GLUT4 pathways for glucose metabolism with insulin resistance, especially when combined with exercise. So really good there. Energy and longevity recharge. Activates the SIRT1 pathway with for recharge AMPK and NAD production. Increases cellular metabolism and your metabolic rates. Also, fun fact, it turns off some of the cancer pathways for greater longevity. So this is a really cool one. I haven't done 5-amino-1-MQ. It's been a little while, but love this peptide. Really good energy booster. Helps accelerate some of the body composition and weight loss. But it's an awesome one. So that's going to wrap it up as far as the peptides go. And so for our challenge this week, wanted to present the challenge. And so next week or tomorrow on the podcast, I'll ask you can send it in on the chat box or email us. But your challenge this week, and you can email me directly at cade@accueastwest.com. That's CADE. But ask yourself to give yourself, like, what health advice would you want to give yourself 10 years ago? If you're thinking about, maybe how far you've come right now, or you just know so much more when it comes to your health and how to resolve health problems, health concerns, what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago? So maybe type that out, write that out. That is the challenge for this next week is what would you give your 10 years younger self or 10 years ago self? Go in the past and say, what would be the number one thing that you'd like to share with yourself about your health? Maybe don't take it for granted, or I think there's a lot of things that you can go there and looking at new avenues. And I think that's what's really exciting about what we're working on here at East West Health is just finding that cutting edge innovation in health and with peptides and nutrition, and having a combination of everything is just so impactful. And so love it. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging on with me, and appreciate you. And we will see you next time, same place. See you, everybody.